The Roman Empire built a wall so massive people believed nothing could ever break through it. 73 miles of stone, thousands of armed soldiers, watchtowers disappearing into the freezing northern fog, deep trenches, giant forts, endless patrols. It was supposed to be unbreakable. But one night, screams exploded through the darkness. Northern tribes crossed the wall anyway, and the Roman soldiers guarding it were completely overwhelmed. Men were cut down where they stood. A Roman general died beside his troops. The wall held for years, until suddenly it didn't. But here's the terrifying part. Dying in battle was not the worst thing about serving on Hadrian's Wall. Not even close. Because the real horror began after the fighting stopped. Imagine this. You are only 20 years old. Maybe you grew up under the burning Syrian sun. Maybe you came from Spain, Belgium, or the forest near the Rhine. Then Rome arrives in your homeland and your life changes forever. You are recruited into the Roman army. Not as a proud Roman citizen, but as an auxiliary soldier, a foreign fighter, cheap, replaceable, forgotten. And Rome sends you to the very edge of the world, northern Britain, a place of freezing rain, black mud, and brutal winds. A place where winter feels endless. A place where even the sky looks angry. Then Rome tells you something unbelievable. You will stay here for 25 years. 25 years guarding a stone wall in the cold. 25 years standing watch in darkness. 25 years praying the enemy never comes screaming through the fog. But here's the crazy part. The enemy was only one small piece of the nightmare. Because Hadrian's Wall slowly destroyed people from the inside out. The cold never truly left your body. Rain soaked your clothes day after day. Smoke from indoor fires burned your eyes. Parasites crawled through soldiers' intestines. Disease spread constantly inside cramped barracks. And Rome's famous medicine could barely keep you alive. But somehow, Rome still charged you money for your own survival. Your boots, deducted from your pay. Your food, deducted. Your clothing, deducted. Even your socks came out of your salary. Almost half your earnings disappeared immediately. Sometimes even more. Imagine risking your life for the most powerful empire on Earth and still struggling to afford warm clothing. An archaeologist discovered something heartbreaking. Real letters written by these soldiers nearly 2,000 years ago. One soldier begged desperately for socks and underwear. Another practically pleaded for beer to be sent immediately. Not gold, not glory, beer. That's how miserable life became on the wall. And then there was Roman discipline, which was even more terrifying. If you fell asleep during guard duty, your punishment could be death. Not from the enemy, from your own comrades. The condemned soldier would be beaten with clubs and stones by the very men he served beside. One exhausted mistake, and your own brothers in arms became your executioners. Rome ruled through fear, and fear lived everywhere on Hadrian's Wall. But somehow, life still continued. Outside the forts, entire towns began growing beside the soldiers, taverns filled with exhausted men, shops selling food and supplies, children running through muddy streets, women building lives beside soldiers who officially weren't even allowed to marry. People from every corner of the empire somehow ended up living together on this frozen frontier. Syrian archers, Spanish cavalrymen, North African troops, British families, different languages, different religions, different worlds colliding beneath the same cold rain. And buried in the mud, archaeologists found something extraordinary. A birthday invitation written nearly 2,000 years ago. A woman inviting her friend to celebrate with her. Simple words, warm words, human words. For a moment, the wall no longer feels ancient. It feels painfully real. These weren't legendary warriors carved in marble. These were ordinary people. Cold people, hungry people, lonely people. People trying to survive one more winter at the edge of the empire. But peace never lasted long. Every few decades, chaos returned. Northern tribes attacked again. Forts burned in the darkness. Roman commanders disappeared. Entire garrisons vanished. At one point, Rome became so desperate they actually paid enemy tribes to stop raiding them. Think about that for a second. The greatest empire on Earth, paying protection money. And then, slowly, Rome itself began collapsing. Orders stopped arriving, supplies stopped coming, money stopped flowing. The empire that once ruled millions simply started fading away. But peace never lasted long. Every few decades, chaos returned. Northern tribes attacked again, Forts burned in the darkness, Roman commanders disappeared, entire garrisons vanished. At one point, Rome became so desperate they actually paid enemy tribes to stop raiding them. Think about that for a second. The greatest empire on earth paying protection money. And then, slowly, Rome itself began collapsing. Orders stopped arriving, supplies stopped coming, money stopped flowing. The empire that once ruled millions simply started fading away. But here's the haunting part. Some soldiers never left the wall. Archaeologists discovered evidence that former Roman officers stayed behind long after Rome abandoned Britain. The empire disappeared, but the men remained. Forgotten by the world they once served. No longer truly Roman, just survivors living among ruins. And maybe that is the real story of Hadrian's Wall. Not glory, not victory, not heroic last stands. Just ordinary human beings trapped on a cold frontier, standing watch in wet socks while history slowly forgot them.